A very good morning to all of you students. Welcome to another lecture of Essential of Business Communication, Presentation Skills and Group Communication, where we will be focusing upon the second aspect of the topic, that is group communication at large. What do you mean by the term group communication? Meaning advantages, disadvantages, forms and types of group communication. We all are human beings and we all love to work in teams. No one want to work in a singleton subset aspects, or you can say no one like to work singly, because it is believed that if you do a particular kind of work in a group, you are in a position to get not only the brain ideas or the ideas of one person, but the idea of many. So the concept of group communication actually occurs from the aspect of as to the need, as to why we need the aspect of group. Basically, to understand in a simple words, we can say that group is a kind of a thing which is going to make a particular individual believe that he or she should have the element of understandability to work within the people and for the people and of the people. So this is the concept of my presentation, and I will be focusing upon the aspect of group communication as to what the communication aspect should takes place in the form of group at large. What is the meaning? What are the advantages, disadvantages, and as to why you need group in your professional life. Talking about group communication, so it is when an interaction occurs among the different members in a group. It is termed as a group communication. Like you can see in this particular picture, this is a form of a group wherein different members of different fraternity, different members of different class, different section of society are going to come together and make a kind of a concept wherein they will be forming the aspects of communication. When it comes to business, group communication can be understood as interaction or engagement with employees and employer in a form of group, or interaction of the company with a group of target customers and so forth. So, what I mean to actually say is that when if you talk about group in a particular kind of company, so in a company, it is an amalgamation, or you can say it is a combination of the customers, the target audience, and also the people who are engaged in daily kind of activities of, you can say, making the consumers, making the customers at large. So, excuse me. So the concept of communication is all about how well and in what circumstances are you going to make the understandability of people at large. In this post, we will understand the concept of group communication and how it plays a significant role in channelizing the business management activities. So let us get to the understanding aspect of it. Okay. So the concept of problems of people are that they are into the aspect of say you can say that we are all belonging to a particular society, and we want to develop the habit of making the understandability of each and every individual in such a manner that people are not able to work, uh, they are not as an individual entity in an organization, though they are, but if you talk about consumers or attraction of consumers, or to attract the consumers into the company and all, or to make the goodwill of the company in the future in the eyes of your stakeholders, or some people like that, you have to work in a group. So as a human being, we have some social circles around us. See, you are you are an MBA person, you are doing an MBA from over here, but you are in a genre of creating friends. Why do you create friends, or you can say why do you create a group? Why do you have your social accounts onto your Facebooks, onto your Twitters, and onto your Instagram and all? Just because you are living in a society. And it is the reason that the kind of group, because see, we all are human beings and we need to talk. Unless and until we talk to the single person one more time, or to another person, we are not in a habitant to just make a kind of a thing. See, though there are certain kind of people who love to work singly, but there are certain kind of people who believe that if you do a particular kind of thing in a group, it is going to make the thing much more interesting, logical, and at the same time practical in nature. So we form relationship with one another naturally and are one of the essential elements of our life. So basically the concept is that we are, it is but natural when we are into the aspect of say when we were in your primitive era, or when we were in your early man age. In early man age also, people started with the because what happened actually, if you just go long time back into your history, when the evolution of mankind all actually began, what was the concept? A group of bunch of apes, they have combined together to form a kind of a hunting aspect. They hunt together, they live together, and they make a group. From there the aspect of group actually emerged. So the concept is that we all are belonging to a particular fraternity, and we are forming the group just to make the things much more easy and much more logical. On the other hand, when more than two individuals are involved, it is called as group communication. Group of families, work team, friend circle, committees are some of the examples. Group may overlap uh, and share common goals, objectives. See, there are chances that you belong to a particular group of say one sector, and you belong to the same group of another sector also. Say for example, you have your WhatsApp groups and all. So you are part and parcel of one group, and you are part and parcel of the other group also. So it doesn't mean that you are if you are a part and parcel of one group, so you're going to leave that group and switch to next over. No, the concept is that we all are into the aspect of making the things much more logical. So you have to understand one thing, students, that if you want to make your life much more easy, or you can say if you want to do your work in a much more easier manner, group communication is going to solve your entire purpose. An individual may belong to one or many group, as I have already told you. So group also identify the quality of life a person. In essential ways, a group may be strongly influence an individual. See, how does a group is going to actually you can say influence an individual? Reason is that if you are going to do a particular kind of work singly, say for example a boss of yours gives you a task of performing the particular duty, or you can say performing a particular project in a day of 7. Now, chances are there that you work day and night, but you won't be getting the exact result, because there are certain angles, there are many angles to be covered. So the concept is that if you are having a group of say even 4 members also, the ideas of each and every member, like I've told you in the beginning itself, that the ideas of each and every member is going to amalgamate and form the essence of group communication. So if you are interacting in this manner as these people are interacting, it is known as the group communication aspects. And communicating in a group is not a very easy task. You can say it involves lots and lots of things, which I'm going to tell you in the later part of my slides. That group communication actually involves each and every dimension of human behavior. Now, to add to it further, while running a business or an organization, there are different groups based upon the job profiles, hierarchy, responsibility. With the right of group communication, an organization can channelize its resources towards the accomplishment of goals. So the concept is that people are just in order, or you can say that they are they are why they are forming group. They are forming the group just because of the reason that they want to have the result. We all want the best result out of it, and we all want that everything should go in accordance to our behavior, the way we want, the way we feel like. So the concept is group communication means it is a kind of a, you can say it is based on the aspect of teamwork, which is the next point, that it is an aspect of teamwork that enables any organization function. So, talking about your organization functions, that is of planning and structuring and organizing and, and coordinating aspect, that means that you actually have to organize the people, you actually have to organize the management, you actually have to organize the company at large. So, in order to have the organization process, that means the managing applicability of the things in a smooth manner, group communication can solve your basic purpose. While taking about the significant teamwork, Andrew Craning says teamwork is an ability to work together towards a common vision. It offers the ability to direct an individual accomplishment towards the objective or national objectives. It is a fuel that allows common people to attain the uncommon results. So, what is the reason as to why we are forming the group? Uh, the one basic reason is that we are in a habit of creating the teamwork. See, students, the concept is that if I give you an assignment, say I give you an assignment to complete a particular task, I give you a set of 10 questions, and I say that okay, these four people or this task is to be done by you singly. So it might be possible, and I want the assignment next day. So it might be possible that half of you will not be giving it just because of the reason that it is too large. But if I say that I'm going to divide the class into the groups of four, then the possibility is there that you can give the assignment because you can divide the work amongst yourself, making a teamwork aspect and making it and accomplishing the uncommon goals. Like it is said in the definition itself that Andrew Crane says that if you want to attain the uncommon results, then you actually have to have the aspects of group communication and that too in a logical sequence. When you plan, ensure better teamwork in an organization, you need to channelize your group communication. So the concept is that if you want to have the best of your group communication, see students, the concept is that if you are working in a particular organization, so chances are there that you can attain the aspect of group communication in such a manner. I'm sorry for the disturbance. You can attain the aspects of group communication in such a manner that you actually have to have the best of everything. You want to attain all your goals of the company. So the concept is that if you are doing that same kind of work, say for example, just like I gave you the example of assignment only, your boss wants that the company should boost its sales in the next few months. Now he calls you and says, okay, Mr. X, I want my company to just grow within say 2 to 3 months and I want to boost my sales. What is your opinion? Now, if Mr. X says, okay, sir, I'll try my level best to boost the sales. Now, there are chances that, see, Mr. X won't be doing it singly. So, he needs a group. He actually needs a group to attain the sales in a much more high genre. So, group communication, or you can say why group is needed, group is actually needed to perform the task in a much more easy, compatible, logical, and sequential manner. Defining a group in group communication. Following group, following group and how they function to influence society and individual can be done through the study groups. The group member can behave in different ways in a group. They may also be special terms or symbols understand to the group, but may be meaningless or confusing for some other groups. A person may belong to one or more group and adapt his communication patterns accordingly. Group use term to distinguish themselves from one another and identify the people. Group tend to follow the similar pattern. So this is actually defining the group. The term group is being defined in your aspect of group communication. And what is it? The group is going to be an association of member and they are behaving in a manner so that the particular communication in a particular group can be maintained in a much more easy manner. See, a group is defined by number of people sharing common goals with distinguishing them from the other group based upon their behavior patterns and interpersonal relationship. See, it might be happen that this particular group, which is there in your presentation, this particular group is actually the best group because the interpersonal relationships, or you can say that they share the common methodology of thinking. So the concept is that when everyone is thinking in the same direction, there are chances that the company or the organization is going to boost up. Say, for example, these are five people. Five people are thinking in the same direction, that is to boost the sales of the company. So the concept is that when the discussion will actually arise, or you can say the communication will actually arise, everything will boil down to your particular thing, that is the boosting of sales. But say for example, if Mr. X or Mr. Y or Mr. Z or Miss Y is going to think on the different angles. They are thinking about themselves, they are thinking about their own aspects, or someone is thinking about the past movie which they have seen. So the concept is totally being shattered now. So you have to think in the same direction. A group in a particular group communication has to work in a singleton way in the single direction. These five people have to think exactly in the same manner as they want, or the main person actually wants them. So, to just define it one more time, a group can be similar to a crowd in a sense that both focus gather to look a particular interest. Now, based upon this particular aspect of this particular paragraph, these are certain points which I have actually jotted down to just define a group at large to make it much more easy for you people. Is that if you just compare a group to a crowd, so there is no basic difference between a group and a crowd because both of them are there to gather the particular interest. If you just have seen a particular crowd is also there to gather a particular interest, and a group, and this group is also a kind of thing which is going to be there for the purpose of creating an interest. A group is dissimilar to crowd in a sense that it has more than just a collection of people to make a group. There are common goals to accomplish. See, but in a crowd, the goals are not common. But there are chances that if there is a group of 10 members, so four members are thinking in the same direction, so they will actually form a subgroup or a group within itself and is going to think in the positive genre. Remaining six, it might be possible that two are thinking in one direction and three are thinking in the other aspects, and one is thinking of the other thing. So they will form a different identity. But these four people will form a group. So in a crowd, you won't be having the amalgamation of, you can say, or you can say the people who are actually having the same kind of thinking. But in your group, you will be having you. There are chances that you can have more than two people, and more than two people thinking in the same directions. Unlike group, unlike a crowd, group do not disperse once the piece of interest is finished. See, the concept is that if a particular speech or a particular work gets over, the crowd get dispersed. You must have seen in your rallies and all, the crowd actually disperse after the speech is over. But in a group will never is going to disperse after the attainment of your objective. Because the thing is that we make a group to make it continue for a longer run. Because these four people or these five people are working just because of their same mentality, and since they have the same mentality, they are working for the organization purposes and all. So it is just in the same directions, or you can say it is just similar to that. A group can be similar to an organization in the sense that both have particular set of rules that lead to the accomplishment of the common goals. Yes, you can say that it is similar to that of organizing something, because just in a manner, in an organization, or if you are just organizing something, you are attaining a particular task. In the similar manner, the group which I have already compared to a crowd, I am now comparing it to an organization, making a particular similarity in the sense that these particular people are actually attaining the accomplishment of goals in one angle. Say for example, you take an example of an organization is being made just to attain the common goals aspects. In the same manner, the group is also there to attain the common goal aspects. So these two have the similarity between them. But unlike organization, there is no bureaucracy in organizing members. Member of the group usually know each other, and they are and there are developed informal rules. See, in an organization, the concept of bureaucracy is not there, or you can say the concept of informal pattern of communication is not there. But in a group, the informal communication can also take place. If we just have a distinction between the two, like I have already distinguished the crowd with the group, I am now distinguishing the group with an organization in a manner that, like earlier I said, that in organization also they are working for the attainment of the common goals. The group is also working for the attainment of the common goals. But now I am talking about about the difference. So the difference is that unlike in your organizations, the group is going to have an informal way of communication. That because in a group, people are actually knowing each other. A group is similar to an interpersonal pairing of two persons, in a sense that group members interact and influence each other. See, it is an interaction between two persons, two or more persons who are actually influencing each other. The basic purpose of making the group is the concept of influence. These five people who are actually sitting and forming an opinion. It might be possible that the gentleman with this particular gray shirt and all, or gray waistcoat and all, he is disfamiliar to all these four people. That is why he is not paying much more ease to them, and they are just you can say he is being sacked out. So the concept is that uh, it is actually the group is actually making a kind of a thing wherein all people are imbibing and forming a particular aspect. No one is left behind, you can say. A group is dissimilar to the interpersonal relationship in a mind. There are three more people in a group, maybe have typical relationships or goals which missing from the ideal interpersonal relationship of three or more people. See, the concept is that interpersonal communication in a group can be possible, but that has to be taken with proper ease and convenience. After going through different theories of groups, now we are ready for understanding the group communications, because we all have understood the aspect of group. We have all understood the concept of group communication. I have compared it with the, or you can say, your crowd also, your organization also. Then with an interpersonal relationship also, I've just made a thing to you. So now we all are into the aspect of understanding. We have understood why the group is there. Group is actually there just to create a particular bonding between the people, so that the work can be made in an ease, convenient, and significant manner. So that the work can be made in a logical sequence. So that the organizing, or you can say the organizational purpose of a particular company can be attained. So this is the group all about. Now we will actually enter the aspect of group communication, and let us see what it is. Aspects of group communication. So group communication is a science as well as an art. Behavioral scientists and management theorists have attempted to discuss the pattern of group communication and prescribed method of increasing communication effectiveness for years. Although merging the different cultures world makes ever evolving topic, there are a number of elements that are to be taken in a particular group communication process. So, talking about the aspects of group communication, if we just have a clear view of it, it is, if you say that just like communication is an art and a science, an art because to deal with the ideas, to deal with the with understanding of someone's mind, it is actually an art and communication. And science, because in communication, just like in science there are postulates, in communication also there are postulates. So in a similar manner, I am saying that group communication also is a combination of science and art. Why? Because, see, you have made a group. These four people or five people, or you can say the group of seven people, are working together. Now, you all know that you have been there for a particular attainment of goal. So, it is an art to make people unite together, because if you are working in a particular integrity pattern, or you can say if you're working with a united pattern, so to maintain that united pattern you actually have to have an art, and this is an art to actually unite people together. And science, because it is based upon certain principles, certain rules that they have to follow in a group communication at large. That is to say, they have to listen to each other, they have to maintain proper orders, they have to give respect to the orders of others, they have to have the understandability aspects, they have to have the full knowledge. And next aspect is that, and the last and the most important thing is that they have to work for the attainment of common goals aspects. Because the thing is that if you are making group, so you are making group because you have same level of thinking. Why it is so? See, you all have entered MBA, and after completing your bachelor's, you have now entered into the university aspects, and you are not doing a full-fledged management course, and that to a master's one. So the concept is that the moment you enter over here, you saw, okay, these bunch of people are of my mentality, and you make a group. This is actually how you are making group, because it is a human tendency that we actually get driven towards those people only who have our way of thinking. You have seen that, okay, these bunch of people are mine, and they think in the same manner, and they think in the same direct and tone, and they are much more east and convenient for me also, so I can make a group of them. This is actually the formation of group actually start with. So the aspects of group communication, or you can say there are various number of elements in group communication, which I'm going to tell you now. The very first thing is your significance. Group or work team can accomplish great things in small and large business. A group overall effectiveness, however, hinges to a great extent on effectiveness of of participants' communication ability. So we the concept is that each and every person, or as I have already told you in my previous slides, that each and every person who is working in a group is working just for the attainment of the common goal. Like you can see in this particular picture, there is a healthy man, there are the slum people also, there is a lady also, there is a girl also, and there's a boy also, and they all are attaining for actually working of a machinery. Because it is just like a machinery. Organization is also like a machinery. You can say a company, an organization, or any small business, or a large concern is just like a machinery only. Just like each and every part has to be brought together to make the working actually happen. In the similar manner, the people are coming up together to make the thing in a logical and significant way. So the significance of group communication is just to accomplish the things in a better and much more ease manner. Without positive flow of communication, misunderstanding may occur between groups, creating frictious working environment. Without clear communication between the group leaders, workers, productivity can slow and struggle of the group communication. Communication uh, style may vary according to the group dynamics and all. So the concept is that if you are having a positive flow within a particular group, say for instance, if you are having a kind of a group where there are people who have a kind of an autocratic nature, you can say that they have their own identity, their own philosophy. So these people will never come up together, because there are chances, and there are chances that it is a but matter of fact that they will create a friction. And the moment friction occurs, the group will burst out. Then they will come again, then it will burst out. So they people will not make a kind of a, you can say, group. They will make a kind of a single entity, making their own assumptions and making their own angles. So if you are making a group, you have to have an understandability of positive flow of communication between each and every member of an organization. And it is very much true that geographical boundaries at times is going to create some kind of friction between the group, because it might happen that say for example, you are from UP, a person, having no offense with anyone, uh, I'm just saying this for the sake of making an example. A person from Delhi do not have any kind of you can say a link with people of UP, or people of UP are not being liked by the people of Mumbai and all. So the concept is that the geographical disambiguity, or you can say the geographical aspects always create a fiction. But you have to remember that if you are maintaining a group, you have to make it in such a manner that misunderstanding should not be there. Because the moment they occur, the group will break off. So you have to make it significant and logical. Then the company culture. Instilling the company culture onto the openness, honesty, trust among the co-workers is a vital factor of group communication. All group participants must feel that they are free to contribute to the best of their ability without fear of getting rejections, insult, and political repercussions. So the concept is that there is a company culture. Company, what does company actually say? That each and every member who is working with us has full liberty to give their opinion, and this is the essence of group only. See, students, the concept is that when you are making a group, you have to remember that you are actually making a group just to create a kind of an honest feeling, just to create a kind of a cooperation between each and every member. And each and every member should not, just like I told you in one of my slide, that that particular person was being lagged out. So this is not a group. The group is something which is going to listen to each and every member, giving the importance to each and every person at large, so that the thing can be made easy and convenient. Respect of individuals, this is one of the most important thing which is there in group communication. And the thing is that each and every member, whether they are belonging to a particular low background, or you can say they are from a different horizons, or from a different culture, or from a different, you can say, religion aspects, cultural, race, uh, your gender disambiguities, there are many options. So if every individual, see, we all are humans, we have to give respect to each and every individual. You cannot say that because, say, there are, I know that there are certain kind of people who have this male centric ego problem, that they are not going to work with girls, or those, there are certain kinds of certain kind of feminist people who are, particularly those ladies who have a tendency that they will not work with boys. So this is going to make a culture become totally raptured. So when you're making group, don't think that he's a girl and he's a boy, or he is of this particular fraternity, I'm not of this particular fraternity, I'm not of his social status and all. Because you all, once you just enter to the professional world, you are actually belonging to the group communication. And when you're doing your group communication, remember, you are doing it for just for the purpose of attainment of common goal of the company. Then business etiquettes. So business etiquettes in a group communication. Business etiquettes is a different topic also in your unit 4 that I will be that I will be telling you. And the concept is that if you are, say for example, in this particular presentation, if you are telling something jovial, it should be jovial, but it should not be hurting. Say for example, you know that this particular person is from this particular society, or this particular sector, or this particular being is from this particular culture. So making those personal remarks, or making those kind of remarks that is going to rapture the feelings of an emotions of any kind of person, this will make your group communication weak. So the problem with the people is that they don't think and talk. So now when you are entering into the world of those masters of business administration, so you have to have a tendency of making good communication with ease and convenience so that the etiquette mannerisms may not be forgotten. So you will actually have to behave professionally. There are two things: you have to behave professionally and you are behaving professionally. There are few people who are once they just entered into this particular horizon of MBA, they think that they okay, they we are now belonging to a professional world, and you will behave in a professional tone and all. And there are certain people who behave say, no, 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 we are belonging to a particular community. We it hardly matters that we are doing MBA or BBA or any stuffs like that. But students, the problem with the thing is that when you are communicating in a group, and that too in a company culture, and that too in a corporates, you have to have the things that business etiquettes is an essence of a group communication, and that is to be dealt with very ease and patience. Theories: a number of theories attempt to analyze and explain the dynamics of group communication and elements of determinants. One such theory is decision emergence theory, set forth by Herbert Fisher. So there were certain theories of the communication also which I would like to explicate, and one such theory is the theory of decision emergence theory that is being made by your Herbert Fisher. Decision emergence theory asserts that new groups progress through four stages that lead to group from the diverse collection of individual to the productive unit which share experiences, decision method, work ethics, and values. So decision emergence theory, as the name already says, it says that each and every see there with what our Fisher wants to say is that it is a combination of four stage, that is it is being put by those you can say that forming, norming, storming, and performing. These are the four stages. So these stages are just there for the purpose of bringing an individual into a particular united effort. So you have to make an aspect in such a sense. See, students, you cannot work in a singleton aspect in your company. It's for sure. Because if you try to work in a singleton aspect in your company, you won't be able to suffice for a very long period of time. So you need to have that group effort. And what Herbert Fisher wants to say is that it is a method of actually bringing the people from diverse culture, from diverse entities into one single unit to combine and make a thing at large. This, and there is another aspect also. The structurization theory suggests that the individual in new groups act according to the knowledge of set rules and alter those rules over a time of group unique experiences. Like I have told you that this group communication is a set of art and science. So basically, this particular structure and theory says that it is that there is a kind of a structure. You can say that there is a structure wherein you are actually making the kind of a thing which will make you believe that whatever you are saying or whatever you are doing, you have to do it with very ease and very comfort. So, sorry. The aspect is that the structuration theory will make you believe that there is a particular structure in a group that has to be followed, and unless and until that structure will be followed, the group cannot create its own unique efforts. And as far as the structuration theory is concerned, it is a set of rules that is going to tell that this is the structure that's to be followed by the group at large, and only then they can make their things possible. Now, there is a very good aspect. If two a company and three is a crowd, then what is a group? Have you ever heard of the aspect of group communication? Uh, we have heard about that if there are two people, it is a company, and when there are three people, it is a crowd. And now I'm talking about group. What is a group? A group, by definition, includes at least three people. We are categorizing group in terms of their sizes and complexities. So, the concept is that when you are talking about a group, it actually incorporates the aspect of three people at large. When we discuss the demographic of group as a part of market study, we may focus on the large number of individuals that share common characteristics. If you are a producer of an ecology innovative car such as a Smart for 2, you know your customers have an average of four members in their family. You may discuss to develop a new model with an additional set while the target audience in your group car member do not relate with each other and unified whole. Even if you form a car club there and have a regional gathering, a newsletter and compilation at the local racetrack each year. They will subdivide the overall community of car owner into the smaller groups. So basically, if you talk about the aspect of as to what a group is going to create a entity, or you can say it is a kind of a thing with which people are being associated just to obtain the attainment of common goal. Like I have told you that crowd in a particular crowd, there is no accomplishment of a common goal. There are particularly you can count there are six people in this particular group as shown in the figure. There are chances that four people think alike. So when these four people are thinking alike within the particular crowd itself, as I just mentioned in my slide itself, that three is a crowd. So in the crowd itself, there is a group. So group is just there for the purpose of attainment of a common goal. The larger group grows, the more likely it is going to be subdivided. Analysis of the smaller group on microgroup is increasingly at the point of study. Internet allows an individual to join a particular similar mind or habit, sharing the virtuality anything across the time and distance. So, if there are large number of people, say for example, there are you can say 10 number of people. So, is 10 a crowd? Yes, 10 is a crowd. But what is a group in this? The group in this 10 people are those 4 people or those 5 people or those 6 people who are actually thinking in the same direction, because they are now being connected with a single frame of mind, incorporating each and every angle so that they can attain a particular goal. So 2 is a company, 3 is a crowd. Group is a set of individual from the crowd itself that is going to make people bind together for the ultimate obtainment or attainment of your objectivity of a thing. Group norms and custom standard behavioral expectations that emerge if you post an update every day on Facebook, your friends stop by a post on your wall, comment on it, posting week. They wonder if you are sick in a hospital or not. If, however, your post is next week, the group will come naturally and expect your customary post. See, what is a group? If you talk about a group is going to combine those people who have a single type of methodology. Say, for example, you all are doing MBA, and there is a particular class group of yours, a WhatsApp group of yours for MBA and all. And say if you are doing an MBA, the reason behind forming of this particular kind of group is first, you all are doing the same kind of subject, you're doing the same kind of thing that is an MBA. And secondly, you all are belonging to the professional arena of company and all, so that, and you all are budding managers. So this is going to make you into, or it is going to twine you into a single entity. So the concept is that in a particular group, if I just say that 2 is a company, yes, 2 is a company, 3 is a crowd, what is a group? So group is actually, just I told you in my previous slide, that it is going to have the people of those types, or you can say the people of that genre or those types, that are going to make a entity of their own based upon the singleton aspect of thinking alike. They have to think alike. Only then they are making group. Now there are various psychologies associated with this particular group and all. What is this? And I'll be just explicating on the aspect of what is the psychology behind the group communication and all. It is common belief that proper communication is better for group, but according to the researchers, there are more discusses, the more it tend to polarize and to extreme opinion. See, now there is a different angle. uh, I have told you that group is going to think on the same direction. Group is going to believe in the same direction, the same philosophy, and all. Now, this particular slide of mine is saying if there is too much to discussion, they can be polarized into different angles. Four people one side, four people one side, and three people one side. So, this thing, is it practically possible? Let us see. The group either tends by taking cautious decision, or it takes risky decision. On the other hand, it is due to the typical phenomena of human behavior that group member may want to appear right in their choice that leads them to shift to the standards. More communication in case become harmful and than less communication. See, it is a very well-known fact that more you communicate, more you are bound to make mistake. And this is the logical thing which I am telling you, students, that that more you try to communicate, more you talk, more you make mistakes. So I'm not saying that you stop talking, but the concept is that you have to have a belief that if in a particular group you are making an understandability, so you have to listen more and talk less. That is the first thing. The study of the group communication reveals what leads to making a particular decision and why the choice is not made. It shows how a person belief value are kept outside a common conscious can made taking the account of judgment for everyone present. Also, how the person shows his identity and relate to the group revealed. The study group communication changes refine every day as a field of study. It shows us better understanding and how people are going to cooperate, influence, make decision and all. See, it is very much true. I totally agree with the aspect that if you are going to talk more, you will bound to make mistake. But the problem is that we all are belonging to the fraternity of management. We all are belonging to the fraternity of managers, and we ought to talk. If we don't talk, then we cannot make the decision applicability at large, and we cannot make a group also. So what to do now? Now the problem is that psychologists say, and I also study a lot about psychology and all. So it is believed that it is a human tendency that more you make your words into the mind of the others to boast yourself, or you can say, just to put it another way around, if you are there are certain intelligent people, and these intelligent people, when they talk a lot just to boast their knowledge, it will bound to break. It will, and they are bound to make mistakes, because there is a old proverb also, there is to err is a human. So this is an aspect that no one is perfect in the world. So basically, in a group, the best thing, which as a practical experience of mine also says, is to listen more and talk less, because now the more you listen, the better you understand, and the better you understand, the better you make a group. Functions of group communication. The term group communication refers to the message of exchange of group communication, the message of verbal and non-verbal, important of groups, exchange of information and all. So, just to talk about the functions of group communication, you can say they will make a logical applicability of a work at large, how a particular thing is to be done, how it is to be planned, how it is to be managed, and in what manner the things can be put on in a better angle with a better giving a better opinion and all that can be done by our groups. Secondly, group is an important because it is through the messages of group that decision and managing of conflict actually happens. See, you can take an example of a particular factory where there is a top management and there is a lower management, and now you have to make a kind of a negotiation. How will this negotiation happen? They will come to a particular place, they will talk, but the concept would have been that unless and until you make a group, the negotiation will never take place, because the aspect is that unless and until both the top level management and the lower level management comes into sync with one angle, think about productivity, think about profit, think about planning coordination, the things will not happen at large. So the concept is that group communication, one of the most important function of group communication is also the aspect of negotiations. Examining group communication, fundamentals, understanding of group communication, exchange of members, provide evidence and nature of group. Uh, the message that exchange identify whether the group is social group and task. The message also reveals that role of specific members play a group. Imagine a family trying to decide what to do during the week in summer. Should they go for a vacation? Should they relax and paint the house? And what to do? This type of messages can be exchanged in a manner by a group communication only. See, now what actually happens is that, say for example, in your family, there is a vacation, there is a summer vacation, and now you have three options. One option is you are actually going for a vacation. Second option is to sit in your home and relax, and the third option is to do the daily tasks of your thing and complete your assignments and all. So your people are actually now are going to decide why we say that we have to work in a group. Family is also like a group only, because planning something actually requires a group, organizing something requires a group, coordinating, staffing, collecting, making a decision requires a group. So it is the third basic function of group communication, or group communication at large, is to make an understandability that whatever thing is to be done with practical knowledge and also in a logical chain, in a particular systemized manner, and more systemized can be done by a group communication only. Advantages. Talking about advantages, the group communication advantages, there is a screen, there is a, if a group communication is there, there are chances of increase in output, more resources are there, reliability is there, unbiased execution is there, because thing is that more output will be increased because of the nature that these people will work in single manner, productivity will increase, output will increase. More resources means they will now come to a particular decision how to maintain their resources and how to allocate them in a proper manner. Reliability, they will form a bond and they will be making a reliable factor. Unbiased execution, that means that no one will say that I am biased towards you, that's why I'm following you, or I am biased towards these people, that I'm following thing. So it is going to create a kind of a uniformity in your organization, a kind of a unit aspects in your organization. Disadvantage, no freedom for individual thinking. Now, the concept of individualism, the so called aspect of ego and all comes into play. That there are certain individuals who say, no, 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 I won't be taking part in any kind of group activity, I won't be taking part in any kind of group element at large, I want my own personal freedom. These kind of people will create problem for you, and they do not like group communication at large, and this is the disadvantage. First, next is difficult evaluation. You cannot say if Smith, Jones, Tom, and Dick are working in a particular group. You cannot say that Smith is the leader, or Tom is a leader, or Jones is a leader, or Dick is a leader. Because the concept is that those four people are working in the same direction, those four people are working in a common goal. How will you evaluate that whether he is right, he is more, or the particular persons are more? So it is very difficult to actually evaluate it. Possibility of unequal credit. This is one of the most interesting and one of the most logical thing also, that possibility of unequal credit may be there. Say, it is generally believed that the people of marketing are the very happy children of your company. It is the company's best child is the child of marketing and the child of HR. They are the two babies of your company, and the company loves them both. So, but finance people, they are just kept aside for it for a time being. They are known to be much more professional and all, but companies baby are those marketing and HR people only. So possibility is there that in a particular meeting or in a particular group, if you can say a marketing head or an HR head or a finance head is there, and they are discussing something in a group with a particular organization, so there are chances that the boss will say, okay, person from HR, you're doing very pretty well, and person from marketing, you're not doing well, and finance, I'm least bothered about you. So the thing is that unequal credit will be there, and this is going to create a kind of a that I have told you in my previous slide, that unbiased education is not there. This There are chances that this particular unequal credit will create a biasness into them. Incorrect competitive attitude. Now, the very you can say the most not a very good thing of your group communication is that uh, this particular in group communication there is a difficult type of competitive attitude into the people, because the thing is that competitive attitude means that you all are putting your best thing to fight. There is no fight. There's no feeling of competition, because the thing is that all are thinking the same directions. All are thinking for the welfare of the things. All are making the aspects of units and all, the integrity and all. So there is a concept of correct attitude, or you can say competitive attitude, is not there. Types of group communication, you can say that there are various types of communication: primary and secondary group. The primary groups will include uh, the primary group meet most, if not all. One of the needs is the group meet some of the people. So you can say that there are two types of groups into your group communication. The primary group meets most of the needs of individual. The secondary group meets the most of the needs of meet some of the needs of the individual. So primary group and secondary group, there are two types of groups. Primary group are going to be including, you can say, group that meets some but not all needs, are known as secondary group. Secondary group often include work groups, which are known as for task oriented and solving problems. So primary group will deal with all the angles, or you can say all the efforts of a particular individual. Talking about primary group, if you can say, the primary group will solve all the problems of individual at large, but secondary group will include the things that will solve a specific kind of thing only. It will just to add on to it, secondary group often include the work group, where the goal is to complete the task and solve the problem. If you are a member of sales department, your purpose is just to sell. So a secondary group will include much more professional and work group type of people. And your primary group will include your general aspects of people. Primary group, just like your family groups and all. And your secondary group will include a particular thing, like you can say your selling aspects or your marketing aspects. And primary group communication, you can say what is the primary, just to have a particular knowledge of what is primary group and all. Primary group is typically a small social whose member share close, personal, enduring relationships in which one exchange implicit items such as love, caring, concern, anonymity, support, etc. These groups are often long lasting, marked by members' concern of one another, where the goal is actually relationship themselves rather than achieving the common purpose. So primary goal it is just like you can say your family, and additional subgroups of these particular primary goals will include those relatives, your close friends, your neighbors. This particular thing is just for the purpose of making those love feelings, those relationships, those caring, concern, and honesty and support, but nothing to attainment of any kind of goals or something like that. Primary goals is just a kind of, you can say, a lack of thing where the aspect is there to make the thing at large. This was primary goal group and all. Talking about the characteristics of primary goal, physical proximity is there. Physical proximity is there. Small in size is there. Stability is there. Similarity of background is also there. Secondary group. Secondary group is relatively a larger group imposed of impersonal and goal-oriented relationships. Now, over here, the thing is that you can say those kind of uh, an aspect of goal relationships or not goal relationships, your goal-oriented relationships are there. Formal and impersonal, it is impersonal in nature. Formal and impersonal relations are made in these secondary groups. Large in size, options of memberships is there. Active and inactive members are also there. So that was all what we have done in this particular aspect of group communication. Let us see that what we have done. We have actually discussed about what is group. We have defined the group communication. We have also defined the aspects, the thing I have also told you that if two is a company, three is a crowd, then what is a group? Psychologies I have told about the functions of group, advantages, disadvantages, types, the primaries and the secondary characteristics of the groups also. So that brings to an end of my presentation. This was quite a very lengthy lecture of mine. I'm really I know that this is quite lengthy, but this is one of the most essential element of your business communication. See, Unit 4 will not be telling you the exact methodology. It is going to tell you the application of your particular thing. Group communication, if you study it from your applied point of view, it is going to make you a particular thing. And I know that my students are capable to make a thing of themselves. So, if any of the slides or any of the point is still not clear to you, or you are not able to understand any of my points, you can come to me in my cubicle. You can solve your doubts. You can write me on my WhatsApp. You can also contact me on my mail. And remember, make only that particular group that has a particular existence in your life. Until my next lecture, thank you.